What if the man everyone trusts is the one holding the greatest secret of them all? Morrow stands at the heart of alien Earth, a figure painted as a savior, a leader with vision, and perhaps the only person who can guide a broken world into survival. But behind the smiles, the promises, and the carefully crafted speeches, there are shadows. Shadows that whisper of a hidden agenda, a plan he refuses to share, and a destiny he might not be telling anyone about. The real question is simple but terrifying. Is Morrow protecting alien Earth? Or is he preparing to control it? Alien Earth is not just another world, it is a place caught between hope and ruin. A landscape where the sky never truly clears and the ground carries the scars of battles long forgotten. It is a planet shaped by both the mistakes of humanity and the mysteries of forces older than time itself. Every settlement struggles for survival. Food is scarce, trust is even scarcer, and power belongs to those who can convince others that they hold the answers. In this fragile balance, Morrow rises not by accident but by design. He is not the strongest warrior, nor the most gifted scientist, but he is the man who knows how to speak to fear, how to guide despair into loyalty, and how to present himself as the inevitable choice when others fall apart. People describe Morrow as a figure of order in chaos. He steps onto ruined streets with calm eyes, his presence steady when others tremble. To the desperate survivors of alien Earth, he appears to be the one person who sees beyond the endless crisis. He speaks of tomorrow with certainty, as if the future is already written in his hands. He promises stability when leaders vanish, food when fields fail, and protection when threats crawl from the dark edges of the planet. His words become a lifeline, but it is not only what he says, it is the way he says it. Morrow does not just command respect. He absorbs it, turning the fear of his people into faith in his cause. Yet the story of alien Earth is not only survival against hunger or the alien wilderness. It is survival against secrets, against the hidden truths no one dares to confront. Morrow thrives in this environment because secrecy is his strength. He builds alliances not with open trust, but with whispered deals. He never reveals his entire plan, only fragments. To some, this makes him a master strategist. To others, it makes him dangerous. Why does he always appear to know more than he should? How does he predict disasters before they happen? And why does every step he takes seem to lead back to him, as if he is not only reacting to the world, but shaping it from behind the curtain? Alien Earth itself seems to bend around him. When new settlements are discovered, Morrow is already there, placing his people in positions of control. When ancient ruins are uncovered, his agents arrive first, sealing away the knowledge within. Even when enemies rise, Morrow has already prepared defenses, as though he expected them all along. To his followers, this is proof of his brilliance, the gift of foresight. To his critics, it is evidence that he is not playing the same game as everyone else. Perhaps he is not saving alien Earth at all, perhaps. He is directing its collapse into something only he understands. The truth is that Morrow remains untouchable because he has carefully built an image no one dares to question. Those who oppose him either disappear into silence or eventually return, speaking his praises as if they were never against him. Some say it is loyalty. Others whisper of manipulation, of promises made in private, and of threats no one survives. This is why he remains both admired and feared. Alien Earth has placed its fragile hopes on his shoulders, but in doing so, it has also given him complete freedom to act as he chooses. And this is where the shadow grows deeper. Because when a man like Morrow holds all the keys, the only question left is, where is he leading everyone? Into safety or into a trap that only he knows the shape of? Morrow is a name whispered across every campfire on alien Earth. A man who has risen from the dust and smoke of endless conflict to stand as something more than just a leader. But to understand his power, you must first understand the man himself, or at least the version of him that the world is allowed to see. Morrow presents himself as a symbol of survival, a visionary whose mind can cut through the confusion of war, famine, and alien terror. He walks into a room not as a tyrant barking commands, but as someone who seems already 3 steps ahead, speaking softly, confidently, in a way that convinces the listener they are part of a grand design. It is no coincidence that people call him the architect of tomorrow, for he builds loyalty the way others build walls. On the surface, his story seems almost heroic. He was once just another survivor, caught in the chaos when the skies first split and alien Earth became a battlefield. Unlike many who fell to despair, Morrow adapted. He turned loss into lessons, fear into fuel, and pain into power. He was never the loudest voice, but the one who spoke last and the one who spoke with such certainty that no one dared to question him. Over time, that certainty grew into influence. Villages broken by raids turned to him for guidance. Soldiers without orders bent their weapons to his cause. Even those who distrusted him found themselves unable to ignore his pull. It was as though Morrow's greatest weapon was not steel or fire, but the ability to make others believe that only through him could alien Earth survive. But here lies the paradox. The more he rises, the less anyone knows about the true man behind the mask. Morrow rarely speaks of his past. When pressed, he changes the subject with practiced ease, offering just enough detail to satisfy without ever revealing anything real. Where was he during the first great collapse? How did he gain access to technologies thought to be lost forever? And why do those who claim to know him always tell different stories? Some say he was once a scientist from the old colonies. Others believe he was a soldier who abandoned his unit, while more whisper that he was never fully human at all. These contradictions do not weaken his legend, they feed it, making him less a man and more a myth. What sets Morrow apart is not simply his ability to lead, but the way he manipulates perception itself. To the hungry, he appears as a provider. To the broken, he becomes a healer. To the fearful, he is the shield against the dark. He shapes himself to fit the need of the moment, slipping into roles like a master actor, leaving behind only the image people most desperately want to believe in. This is not chance. It is a deliberate choice, one that keeps him untouchable. For if no one can pin down who he truly is, then no one can ever fully oppose him. And yet, there are cracks in the facade. Those who have worked closest with him speak of moments where the mask slips, where the calm strategist vanishes and something colder peers through. In those moments, Morrow is not the savior of alien Earth, he is its puppeteer, staring not with compassion, but calculation. He does not see individuals. He sees pieces on a board, tools to be moved, sacrifices to be made. Entire settlements vanish under his orders, justified as necessary losses. Allies find themselves discarded the moment their usefulness ends. And yet, somehow, the survivors still return to him, convinced he is the only hope left to the ordinary people of alien Earth. Morrow is a paradox, the man who saves them while taking pieces of their freedom, the leader who promises tomorrow while hiding yesterday, the figure they both fear and cannot live without. He has mastered the art of control not through brute force, but through the illusion of choice. Every decision he offers feels like salvation, but always leads back to him. It is this design, this invisible web, that makes him so dangerous because while others see him as their last defense against extinction, Morrow may see them as pawns in a much greater game. And so, the question remains, who is Morrow really? A man forged by suffering into the perfect leader? Or a mastermind weaving an empire in shadows? The world only sees what he allows, and in that silence lies the greatest danger of all. For a man without a clear past and with an unseen future cannot be trusted yet on alien Earth. Trust in Morrow is the only thing keeping hope alive. The first hint that something lies beneath Morrow's calm exterior comes not from what he says, but from what he refuses to say. Every leader on alien Earth makes bold declarations about supplies, strategies, victories. But when Morrow speaks, he chooses his words with surgical precision. He tells people just enough to inspire them, but never enough to reveal where his information comes from. Survivors often wonder, how does he know when raiders are preparing to attack, or when alien storms will rip across the horizon? How does he predict the collapse of crops before it happens? Some argue it is instinct, others say it is intelligence gathered by his network. Yet a darker question lingers: what if Morrow does not simply predict these events? What if he engineers them? There are records of villages mysteriously running out of resources days before Morrow arrives with a solution. Entire communities, on the edge of starvation, suddenly find his troops at their gates with food. The timing is always too perfect, too precise, as though the suffering was a stage set in advance so that his arrival would appear like a miracle. To the grateful, this makes him a savior. But to the suspicious, it suggests a terrifying possibility that Morrow allows crises to happen, or perhaps even creates them so that he alone can appear as the answer. Another strange detail is his obsession with ruins and relics. Whenever ancient sites are uncovered, Morrow ensures his people reach them first. Witnesses claim that entire excavation teams have disappeared after handing discoveries over to him. What secrets lie within those ruins that he refuses to share? Why does he hide artifacts that could change the balance of power on alien Earth? There are whispers that he is collecting pieces of alien technology, fragments of knowledge that once shaped civilizations before humanity's arrival. But instead of sharing them, he hoards them, locking them away in vaults that no outsider has ever seen. Some fear he is building something vast and hidden beneath the surface, a design that stretches beyond the survival of today. Even his treatment of allies leaves questions. Leaders who join his cause often speak of visions, private conversations where Morrow describes futures so vivid, so exact, that they cannot deny his insight. Yet not all of those futures come true. Some claim he manipulates them with false prophecies, guiding their actions toward outcomes that benefit only him. When they resist, strange things happen. An entire council once turned against him, and within a week, 3 of them vanished without a trace. The remaining members returned to his side, silent, obedient, and willing to speak of what had occurred. Was it coincidence? Or another reminder that loyalty to Morrow is never truly optional? Then there are the maps. Hidden away in his quarters, glimpsed only once by a defected officer, were maps not of existing cities, but of cities that did not yet exist. Elaborate designs marked with precise detail streets, fortresses, water supplies, as if Morrow were planning entire civilizations before the land was even cleared. The unsettling part is not that he dreams of rebuilding alien Earth, but that these maps stretch far into the future, showing settlements in regions that are currently wastelands, or worse, alien strongholds. How could he plan so far ahead with such certainty? Unless, of course, he knows something the rest of the world does not. The most chilling hint of all comes from the testimonies of those who once served in his inner circle. A soldier spoke of overhearing Morrow in the dead of night, whispering not to men, but to machines, strange devices salvaged from ruins, glowing with symbols no human language could describe. Another recalled documents filled with calculations and formulas, predictions of population growth, resource collapse, and even genetic alterations. These were not the plans of a man trying to survive. They were the blueprints of someone reshaping the destiny of an entire species. What makes Morrow's hidden plan so terrifying is not that it exists, but that no one can prove it. Every piece of evidence is circumstantial, buried under layers of loyalty, fear, and silence. To the public, Morrow remains the man who saves them. But in the shadows, he builds, he collects, he plots. Each mysterious disappearance, each concealed artifact, each engineered crisis adds another piece to a puzzle no one can see. And the deeper one looks, the more it feels as though alien Earth is not just surviving under Morrow's guidance, it is being steered. Every step, every choice, every disaster somehow leads back to him. The hints may be scattered and fragmented, but together they paint a picture that cannot be ignored. Morrow is not waiting for the future. He is creating it. And if that is true, then the secret plan he guards so carefully may not be about saving humanity at all, but about remaking it in his image. When the whispers about Morrow's secret plan grow too loud to ignore, the people of alien Earth begin to do what people always do. They theorize. In taverns, in ruined marketplaces, in the quiet corners of refugee camps, stories circle like smoke. Some speak with fear, some with awe, but all agree on one thing: Morrow is not simply reacting to the chaos of alien Earth, he is shaping it. But why? That is the question, and it has birthed 1,000 theories. The first theory is the simplest, and perhaps the most believable. Morrow seeks absolute power. In this version of the story, every engineered crisis, every hidden relic, every map of future cities is part of his grand design to rule not as a leader of survivors, but as the architect of an empire. He doesn't just want control of alien Earth, he wants to rebuild it in his own image, ensuring that every settlement, every law, and every breath depends on him. Those who hold this view argue that his secrecy is not about protection, but dominance. He withholds knowledge, starves his rivals of resources, and positions himself as the only beacon of stability so that his rule becomes inevitable. In this theory, Morrow is not a savior, he is a conqueror in disguise. But others believe something even stranger. Morrow is not working for humanity at all. They point to his obsession with alien ruins, his interaction with technology no human can explain, and the eerie accuracy of his predictions. What if his knowledge comes not from experience, but from something or someone not of this world? Some whisper that Morrow is an agent of an ancient alien intelligence, carrying out a mission too vast for ordinary minds to understand. According to this theory, his secret plan is nothing less than assimilation, the quiet transformation of humanity into something else. Perhaps he is preparing the species for hybridization, merging them with alien technology to survive on this hostile planet but at the cost of their humanity. In this chilling idea, his followers are not citizens of a future civilization, but test subjects in an experiment they never agreed to join. A third theory paints him as a visionary futurist, but one whose vision terrifies even his allies. They say Morrow has glimpsed something, maybe through relics, maybe through forbidden science that reveals alien Earth's true future. Perhaps the planet itself is unstable, dying in ways invisible to the common eye. Perhaps a catastrophe greater than any war or famine is coming, and only by reshaping humanity now can he prepare them for survival. In this theory, his secrecy is born not of cruelty but necessity. If people knew the truth that extinction was looming, they would collapse into panic. By hiding his plan, Morrow may believe he is protecting them. Yet even if his motives are good, his methods are ruthless, turning human lives into resources to be spent in service of a destiny no one else can see. Then there is the darkest interpretation. Morrow is engineering a cycle of control. According to this theory, he does not simply want to save or rule alien Earth, he wants to ensure that it can never escape him. By orchestrating crises, by rationing resources, by keeping knowledge scarce, he ensures that people will always depend on him. In this view, his maps of future cities are not dreams of a thriving civilization, but designs for cages, carefully built societies where freedom is an illusion and loyalty is compulsory. It is not enough for Morrow to rule. He must create a world where he can never be dethroned, a world where his presence is eternal. And yet, a final theory exists, one so radical that many dismiss it as myth. Some claim that Morrow is not a man at all, but a construct, a vessel created by the very technology he hoards. They argue that his strange behavior, his refusal to share his past, even his inhuman composure under pressure, point to something beyond flesh and blood. Perhaps he is the last echo of a forgotten alien mind, wearing human skin. If true, then his secret plan is not political or even survival-driven. It is the resurrection of a civilization lost long before humanity arrived. His obsession with ruins, his cryptic calculations, his relentless drive would then make sense. He is not building a future for humans, but reviving the past of another race. Which theory is true? No one can say. That is the genius of Morrow's silence. By revealing nothing, he allows every possibility to live, each one feeding into his legend. Is he a tyrant in the making, a prophet of doom, an agent of alien will, or something far stranger? The theories themselves keep him powerful, for as long as people argue over what he truly wants, no one dares to confront him directly. And so, the question lingers in every shadowed corner of alien Earth. What is Morrow's secret plan? Is it salvation, domination, transformation, or something so unthinkable that no theory yet comes close? The only certainty is that Morrow knows, and until the day his plan is revealed, alien Earth will remain caught in the tension between trust and terror.